We didn't learn about love from therapists. We didn't learn it from our parents sitting us down and actually explaining it either. Most of us learned it from a screen, from the scenes we rewatched, the dialogues we quoted in our bios, the couples we shipped without ever once asking ourselves why we were rooting for them. Today, I'm walking through 7 things dramas taught us about love that were actually wrong, not slightly off. Wrong. Some of these are going to sting. Some of you are going to recognize yourself in more than one. And I promise you, by the time we get to number 7, you're going to look at your favorite drama completely differently. This one's long because it needs to be. Grab your tea. Let's actually get into it properly. We didn't learn love from real life first. We learned it from a screen. This is beyond the drama. Let's go. Before we get into the scenes themselves, I want you to understand why this even happens. Why fiction shapes us this deeply without our permission. There's a concept in psychology called the mere exposure effect. The more we're exposed to an idea, even a completely fictional one, the more familiar it starts to feel. And the more familiar something feels, the more our brain quietly files it away as normal, sometimes even as true. Now think about how much television most of us grew up on. Hundreds, maybe thousands of hours across our childhood and teenage years, all reinforcing the same handful of ideas about love. Jealousy means passion. Silence means strength. Grand gestures mean devotion. Rescue means romance. Your brain doesn't file that away as fiction. It files it away as a template, a blueprint for what love is supposed to look like, feel like, and sound like. And here's the part that makes this even more powerful. We weren't just watching passively. We were emotionally invested. We cried during these scenes. Our heart rate actually changed. And emotionally charged memories get encoded far more strongly than neutral ones. So these weren't just ideas we happened to see. They were ideas we felt deeply, dozens of times over, at an age when we didn't have anything to compare them to yet. You didn't choose your first definition of love. A screenwriter did. So today, we're taking that blueprint apart, piece by piece. 7 pieces, to be exact. Let's start with the one almost every single drama gets wrong first, and honestly, the one most of us fell for the hardest. Every love story needs a moment where the lead proves how much he cares. And in almost every single drama, that proof shows up the exact same way, through jealousy. There it is. She talks to someone else, a coworker, a cousin, a friend from university, and his entire demeanor shifts. His jaw tightens. His voice drops half an octave, and the music swells right on cue, and her face softens, because somewhere along the way, we were all trained to read that shift as passion, not as a problem. If he's jealous, it means he cares. That's the lesson. It's also completely wrong. Jealousy isn't love. Jealousy is fear, wearing love's clothes to the party. It's insecurity that learned to perform as devotion, because devotion gets applause and insecurity doesn't. Real love doesn't need to control who you talk to in order to feel secure in itself. A secure person can watch you laugh with someone else and feel nothing but happy that you're happy. And by the end of the episode, she forgives him because the show frames it as him caring too much. That's the exact moment the lesson gets sealed into us. Not through a lecture. Through a scene we were actively cheering for, with popcorn in hand. Control feels intense. Love feels safe. Those are not the same feeling. Next, the character who never speaks up, never asks for better, never once says the sentence, "This actually hurts me." And the story rewards her for exactly that. By the finale, everyone finally sees her worth, as if her silence was the strategy that worked. Strength isn't staying quiet. Strength is speaking, even when your voice shakes. But real life doesn't always come with a finale that rewards your silence. Sometimes it just lets the same thing happen again next week, and the week after that. We covered this exact pattern in more depth in a previous video on this channel. If you haven't seen it, it goes even deeper into why we mistake endurance for strength. And this pattern connects directly to the next one, because when you never speak up for yourself, you don't just stay quiet. Eventually, you start performing. Every drama has that one scene: the airport run, the public confession in front of the whole family, the rain-soaked declaration outside her window at 2 a.m. And somewhere along the way, we absorbed the idea that this exact moment is what love is supposed to look like. Big, loud, cinematic. And it's not just one show doing this. It's the format. Almost every love story ends on some version of the same gesture, because the writers know exactly what will get clipped and shared the next morning. But love isn't the airport run. Love is who shows up on a random Tuesday when there's nothing to prove and nobody's watching. It's who remembers you don't eat coriander 3 years into knowing you. It's who notices you've gone quiet at dinner and actually asks why, instead of assuming you're fine because it's easier than asking. The wedding scene is 1% of the story. The other 99% is what most dramas never bother to show you. And that's exactly where the story ends, right there mid-gesture. Because the writers know the grand gesture is easy to film. It's one scene, one location, one emotional peak. The Tuesday evening isn't easy to film. There's no music cue for nothing dramatic happened today, and it was actually really nice. So we got a masterclass in dramatic declarations and almost nothing about what happens after the credits roll. We were taught that a good couple doesn't fight. So when disagreements happened in our own relationships, a lot of us assumed something was fundamentally broken, instead of realizing disagreement is just what happens when two different people with two different upbringings try to build one life together. The problem was never the conflict. The problem is when nobody says anything at all, and resentment quietly builds in the background instead. That's the exact same silent buildup we talked about in Lesson 2. It just shows up on both sides of the relationship this time, instead of just one person absorbing everything alone. Watch how rarely a drama actually shows two people calmly disagreeing, working through it, and coming out the other side closer. It's almost always silence, then explosion. Because calm disagreement doesn't make for compelling television, but it makes for a much healthier relationship. And now, the one almost nobody questions. The idea that some people are just destined for each other. That love is fate finding its way back, no matter how many times life pulls them apart. It's a beautiful idea for a story. It's also, in reality, not really how relationships work. Real relationships aren't built by fate. They're built by two people choosing each other again and again, on the boring days, not just the cinematic ones. That's a lot less dramatic to put on screen. A couple calmly discussing bills over breakfast doesn't trend the way an airport reunion does. But here's what that freeze frame never shows you: the years of choosing that would come after if the cameras kept rolling. That's the part that actually determines whether love lasts, not the reunion. What happens the next 1,000 mornings after it? Fate makes a good opening scene. Choice is what makes a good ending. Here's one we don't talk about enough. So many dramas build their entire romance around rescue. He saves her from a bad family, a bad marriage, a bad situation. And it plays like the ultimate proof of love. But watch closely what that setup actually teaches. It teaches that love is something you have to be rescued into. That you need someone to fix your circumstances before you're worthy of a real relationship. It quietly reframes partnership as charity. Being saved isn't the same as being loved. And needing saving isn't a prerequisite for deserving love either. A relationship built on one person rescuing the other starts with an imbalance baked into the foundation. One person is always grateful. The other is always the hero. And gratitude, stretched out over years, quietly turns into obligation, which is a very different feeling from love. Watch how often "thank you for saving me" gets used as a romantic line in these shows. Now imagine hearing that same sentence Unironically, 5 years into a marriage. It stops sounding romantic fairly quickly. And finally, the biggest one. The idea that you are somehow incomplete, empty, only half a person, until the right person walks into your story. Almost every drama opens with a lead who feels like something is missing and closes with that emptiness resolved entirely by falling in love. It's a satisfying arc to watch. It's a dangerous blueprint to live by. Because if you walk into a relationship believing you're incomplete without them, you're not looking for a partner anymore. You're looking for a missing organ. Healthy love doesn't complete you. It complements a life you've already built for yourself. Two whole people choosing to build something together will always be more stable than one incomplete person. Hopping the other person fills the gap. Because the moment they can't fill it fast enough, that entire relationship starts to feel like a failure, when really, it was just never the right job for them to do in the first place. And that's usually where these stories end, right at the moment the emptiness disappears. Nobody shows you what happens a few years later when real life creeps back in, and that person you thought would complete you forever is just a person. A wonderful one, hopefully, but still just a person, not a cure. A relationship can be a home. It was never supposed to be a rescue. So, 7 lessons. Jealousy isn't proof of love. Silence isn't strength. Grand gestures aren't the point. Conflict isn't the enemy, avoidance is. Fate doesn't build relationships, choice does. Being saved isn't the same as being loved. And you were never supposed to need someone to complete you in the first place. None of this means stop watching your dramas. I'm clearly not stopping either. That's this entire channel. It just means watch a little differently now. Notice what's being sold to you as romantic and actually ask yourself, would this feel good in real life? Or does it just look good with the right lighting and the right music behind it? If one of these 7 hit a little too close to home, tell me which number in the comments. I read every single one. And honestly, those comments are usually the most interesting part of putting these videos out. And if you want the next pattern broken down, subscribe, because this series isn't finished. There's a lot more we haven't gotten to yet. This has been Beyond the Drama. I'll see you in the next one.